Hello, hello. How are you all doing? I'm so happy to be back with you guys to get my crafty groove on. I had a lovely holiday away in France. We went skiing. It was amazing, but I missed you guys. My little alarm went off on my watch on my Friday nights, and I was thinking of all of you. But it was so good to get away and have a holiday. But I am really happy to be back, although I am exhausted. It's been definitely one of those holidays where I now need a holiday to get over the holiday. That's skiing for you though, because I think it just exhausts you. We've got Gani is here. Hello. And we have Candy. Candy says, I missed you, but it looked like you had fun. We did have fun, and congratulations, Candy. I believe you were one of our winners of the Card Maker Success Summit giveaway, so congratulations. And Marcy's here too. Oh, how wonderful. I was actually getting worried not seeing you in a while. Glad everything was okay. Yes, we're okay, although I should say that next week, next Thursday, Craig is going for his operation. So I'm staying over on Thursday night. So all being well, I'll be here on Friday. But I should probably just let you guys know that that is happening on Thursday in case if he needs a little nurse and there might not be a stream. Well, we shall see. We shall see. Candy says, I was so excited I screamed. Yay! I'm so excited for you. All right, I'm going to flip the camera around. Let's get my face up here, because you missed me so much. Tonight I'm going to be playing with the Amazing Llamas stamp sets. Jasmine's here, and Marcy says, best wishes to Craig. I shall pass on your messages. I'm going to be playing with llamas tonight because I got an email earlier this week which was from a magazine, Die Cutting Essentials. And they have asked me to create 5 cards using the Amazing Llamas. So I'm actually going to share this with you guys. I'm sure it's no big secret. This is for the the issue for the 14th of July. And this is the brief that we get whenever we are asked to create projects for magazines. So we've been given this color palette, which is so beautiful. It's nice and springy, some lovely colors in there, definitely feeling those vibes just now. And they have asked specifically for me to use Amazing Llamas stamps and dies, and the style is cute, which, let's face it, is gonna be cute. They also added a couple of sample photos here that they've taken from our website. Hey, Nessa, how you doing? So I'm going to create a couple of images tonight and walking you through kind of what my process is whenever we get something like this as a design brief for working on magazines. Now, actually, normally what I do is I give the design team the opportunity to be published in the magazine. That's the first and foremost. It's kind of part of the perks of being part of the design team. I normally would say to them, hey team, do you want to be published in a magazine? If so, here's the brief, and sign up to do 1 card, 2 cards, whatever you want, basically. The reason I haven't done it for this is that the team are working on another magazine article at the moment using pandas, because it was International Panda Day on Wednesday. It was also Pipe's birthday, which that probably explains why she's panda obsessed. And the other thing is that the design team actually are going to be pretty busy for the next couple of weeks because they are getting their samples of the next new release, which is super duper exciting. So I need them focusing on the new release. So I'm going to be playing with llamas tonight. So what I have done is I looked at these, and normally I actually pull out some ink pads to match this, but actually I was like, these are all colors of Heavy Doodle cardstock. So I don't know whether Lee, who sent me this, meant to do that or didn't mean to do that, but look how perfect these colors are matching for my Heavy Doodle cardstock. So these are definitely going to be my starting point for tonight's project. So we have got what is this meant to be? Ice Blast, Bubblegum Blush, Wildberry, and Butterscotch. So I pulled these out. The other thing I pulled out is, of course, my llamas. All right, so first things first, what I normally do whenever I am working on some project work for a magazine, I also do this when I'm working on a new release. Jasmine says, cannot wait for the next release. Yay! Me too. Right, so I need some alcohol marker friendly cardstock, which is up here with my new release goodies, top secret for now. And what I do is I cut this in half, just roughly. So I have two panels of roughly the same size. And then I take my stamp set and I pull off all the critters, all the images. I don't tend to do the sentiments, but I do the pictures. Do the little critters. And I try my darndest to keep my magnet on there, yet still get all my stamped images on there. So I have got I've got all the llamas and a couple of accessories. I don't have this suitcase, but that's okay. And I don't have the banner, but that's okay too. We'll work with what we've got so far and we'll come back to that. Let's pick this up. And I have actually, because I've been playing with the new release today, I said to Morgan, bring me a memento, because I have two out here in the craft room and they are both really dry and sad. So I thought it was time to upgrade to a brand spanking new memento. Oh, I can see the difference already. All right. We'll see how many cards I can get made tonight. I have a busy day tomorrow, so I can't craft all night long. Piper and I are going to the theater to see Mamma Mia. I'm very excited about that. We've got a little bit of a busy day. We are planned to, first of all, we have planned a lie-in. Much needed after our holiday. And then we have planned to go to Aberdeen to the Science Centre. So now I'm taking my second piece and I'm popping this right in here. I don't know why I put that there. Didn't need that. And we're going to ink up another panel. So normally when I have a new release and I'm just creating an abundance of cards, I will do this and I will just store these in the back of my stamp pocket so that when I'm creating, I can just go fast and furious. And I don't have to stop and start all the time. So I think, let me see, that should be enough to get me started. And it may be that I make a card that has like multiples of the same llama and I'll have to come back and stamp it, but at least this will get the ball moving. I just wanted to share that with you guys because you might find it useful. I think the Misty is great for things like this. Especially if you are doing a lot of cards. It's also really useful if you go to like a friend's house and you're like, ooh, I don't have that stamp set. Can I have a couple of images? All right. So next thing is what I did is I took my little book here. This is just a little notebook that I got at a stationery shop somewhere. And every time I see one that I like that is quite sturdy, that has blank pages, I tend to buy it because I'm obsessed, obviously. And what I do is I just sit and sketch some ideas. Sometimes whenever we have a magazine brief, it will say things in here like you must create one square card, one round card, one landscape card, one slimline, that kind of thing. So actually this time round they've pretty much given me creative freedom, which is really nice. And that means that I can focus on the things that I want to do. I have sketched out a couple of designs. First of all, over here I have designed something that is very similar to one that Amanda made. It's actually on the back here. Using the whatever that is called, chevron fun stencil, I think. No, what is it called? Oh my gosh, it's completely escaped me. I'll find out in a minute. And and maybe the Arizona stencil behind it. Next up, I was thinking of maybe doing an inlaid technique using some of the balloon dies that we have. Then maybe a slimline with lots of different, like multicolored, almost like rainbow llamas. I think that would be cute. Then I'm thinking about doing maybe a heart card using the mummy and the baby. Mother's Day is coming up over here in the UK, so that would be kind of cute. Although by the time, it'll have well passed by the time it's published in the magazine. When is Mother's Day in the US? You'll have to let me know in the comments. Then I was thinking of maybe using the silly slimline slants to get more of these colors in from my cardstock. I thought that might be cute as well. So I'm going to make a start with one of these. And I'm going to use a piece of the wild berry to cut a panel to go on the front of my card and then take it from there. So let's cut this down to 5.5 by 4.25. And I'm not going to throw out these little pieces because that would be perfect for a sentiment strip. Pop them in here for now. Normally, small pieces like this I put in a separate one, but that's okay. We'll come back to it. So now I have my front panel. I'm going to cut another panel that goes in the front, and I'm actually going to use my stitched imperial rectangle, I think. If I can find them. They're always the ones that hide on me. Oh, they're the last ones. Of course they are. Right. Mother's Day in the States is the 8th of May. So actually, when this magazine is published, which is in July, it will be even past stateside one too. Right, so I'm going to use this second biggest side here. Let's cut a little panel using some cardstock. I'm going to be doing some ink blending, so I'm going to use my paint on card for these. Although I've had so many people say that the Happy Doodle cardstock has been perfect for ink blending, so could use that, but this one's right here, so it's right here. Let's cut this down. All right. And while this is cutting, let me see if I can pull out my Arizona stencils here. What's the other one called? Chevron something? Not Chevron Fun. Fiesta Time, completely in the wrong ballpark. I totally got one of those fuzzy brains this week. I'd love to know if you let me know in the comments, have any of you ever been published in a magazine? Is that something that you have tried to do before or something that you're interested in? I'd love to know more. All right, let's add some color to the top of this. So I'm going to use this stencil to add some color down below a particular line. So let's add sort of a canyony background. Should we do canyony background or shall we do... Let's actually do a cactus background. That would be cute. What have I got? No, I've got cactus background. Okay, let's do the canyon background because I want to use the cactus on one of the other cards today. So we'll use it like this. I'm going to use my Make Art Station because it's magnetic. It'll hold everything in place while I am inking it up. Nessa says, never published, too scared to try. Oh, Nessa. You never know until you try. Let's try some scattered straw for a nice butterscotch color up top here. Here's all over the show. All right. That's my scattered straw. Write this down. Arizona stencil, so useful. And now we're going to add some designs using the Fiesta Time stencil. So let's see what we can do. Maybe we shall put it like this. And I'm actually going to go ahead and cover this just in case it gets on an area where I don't want it to be. Now I'm going to take back my color palette here because we want to make sure that I'm using the colors. Oh, actually, I don't want that so close to the other. I want to make sure I'm using the colors that they have requested. Now with this stencil, all of the designs go in this linear format. And because of that, what you'll find is that if you try and move your stencil up and down, these long lines want to move up and down. So make sure you move from side to side. Like a saw. All right, that's scattered straw. I think we're going to need some cracked pistachio next. Looks lovely. A little bit of tumbled glass. Oh, I'm very excited because I got some new distressing colors. I'm not sure if you are aware, but there was a new distressing color released called Saltwater Taffy. Oh yeah! And it is a beautiful peachy corally color. It's very pretty. Big fan. And I also picked up Villainous Potion, which is one that I was missing from my collection. All right, now we need a pink and a purpley color. So for the pink, I'm going to go for Kitsch Flamingo. I think that's probably going to be the closest one that we can work with. And we're going to go down at the bottom for this one. Marcy said, I had 2 of my cards published in the Stamper Sampler many, many years ago. Oh, congratulations. It's always so exciting to see your work in print. All right, so last but not least, I think we're going to need a little bit of shaded lilac, maybe. No, not shaded lilac. Seedless preserves. My seedless preserves foam tape is all like foam pad is all curled up in a crazy fashion. Nice. I'm going to come back into this very bottom section and add some more of that Seedless Preserves purple. Then it almost looks like it's going to repeat the pattern again. So I like the way that looks. It kind of gives it a sense of being whole. Do the grand reveal in a minute. To get cleaned up. Right. Da, 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 da. Ooh, lovely. I think that looks really pretty. Don't you? Okay, this is going to be my background of my card, and then we're going to add on some elements. So I've got my cactus here. Let's start by coloring him in some light greens. And I'm going to try and keep to those minty colors that were in the brief. So we'll have a cactus over here, maybe a little signpost situation. And I'll color one blue. And I'll color one purpley, purple tone. Like this. So I'm going to move this over to the side and I'll try and keep it still on screen for you guys. And I'll start cutting these out so that we can then lay them on the card and get a sense of what it's all going to look like. Because sometimes when I sketch things out, I don't know about you, when I sketch things out, sometimes it looks like it's full and like there's plenty of things on there, but then actually it looks a little bit sad and lonely whenever you're building it for real. Well, let's die cut these. So let me know in the comments, what have you guys been up to in the last 2 weeks? Have you been making any cards? Have you been crafting? Maybe you've done something fun or something with your family. I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments. We had such a great time, and to be honest, I was a bit nervous. Those of you might know my history and the fact that it was 8 years since I was skiing previously. And during that ski vacation, I fell and hurt my back. And I actually had to get an operation in the end. So I was definitely at the point where I was kind of scared. Yeah, scared is the right word, I think. And for me, all I wanted to do was just build up my confidence again. Didn't really care about being good. I just wanted to not be scared. And the first day when I went back on the slopes, I think I did really well, but we were doing slopes that I think were probably a bit further beyond my comfort level. So at the end of the day, I was exhausted. I was happy that I actually skied and that there was some muscle memory at play, if you know what I mean. But I was exhausted, and in hindsight, I think I shouldn't have pushed myself so much on the first day. But hindsight and all that. The next day was good because we got to go into our lessons and go to our different groups. And I was in a group and I got on okay in the group, but I get really, really like nervous whenever like other people are behind me. So in the group, everyone has to stay somewhat close. So I always ended up being the last one to go down the slope because I didn't like it when people were coming behind me. I'd like freeze up like this. And I could tell that I was just overthinking everything, you know, which was just not fun. And then in the afternoon, the first day I was like, oh, I'm exhausted. And Piper had lessons on the first day too, and I think she found it really tough. So the next day I said, right, actually I'm gonna ask to go down to the lower group. And I'm so glad that I did, because I really felt like I was the worst one in the group I was in. And then whenever I went to the other group, which was a bit more for beginners, I felt like I was like the best one in that group. So I was just able to enjoy myself much, much more. And in the first group, it was, come on, come on, come on, you gotta go quicker, you gotta go quicker, you gotta go quicker. And I was just like, oh. So by the time I was the last one, so by the time I would arrive to meet up with like the whole group, I would like come down the slope. I'd be like, oh, I did it, yeah. And they'd go, right, come on, let's go, next thing. And I'm like, oh, I just need a break. Just give me a break for a minute. So yeah, when we went down to the second group, the lower group, I just felt so much more calmer. The second day then, in the afternoon, I actually put on a podcast and I was just skiing, like feeling it, not actually thinking about it, just having a, like, feeling it happen. And I had so much fun just doing the easy, like, baby slopes, just getting used to it. I was loving it. Piper struggled a little bit because she definitely got to the stage where she only wanted to do the one slope, which was in a way a bit frustrating, but in another way I was like, listen, if that is what it is, then that's what we do. Like, we're not going to push her. I didn't want her to have the same issue that I had in the past, where you felt like pushed and then you just don't enjoy it. So then I went to the shops one day afterwards, and I got, some of these people had like a cover that went on your helmet. And as you guys know, Piper is obsessed with pandas. And so there was this one that was a panda, and I was like, oh, I have to buy that. So I bought it for Piper. And ever since then, she was like speed demon, loving it. I was like a completely different child. She would wanted to go down different slopes, trying new things. So good, made us so proud. Absolutely. What a champ. Super, super champion. Oh, that one didn't. His little nose didn't go all the way through. I think I probably could have wiggled it out, but I didn't want it to fray, especially whenever it's for a magazine. There we go. Marcy says, panda power. Yes. Like, when you're skiing, people will say, the instructors, like, you're in your head too much, like you're thinking about it too much, you're in your head, you're in your head. So with Piper, it was very much, you're not in your head anymore, you're in the panda's head, yay! And I think that was the main difference for her, that she wasn't in her head anymore, she was in the panda's head, and that made all the difference, for sure. All right, I want to darken up a little bit at the bottom of here because I feel like it is floating a little bit. So I'm just gonna gently take, I think, a brown and go back and forth over this edge just to darken it up a tiny little bit. I think that works. Marcy says, I've never been skiing, too scary, but it looks like a lot of fun. It is both of those things. It's actually not really scary once you get in the hang of it. Although what I did find a bit scary was that it was super duper sunny, which sounds amazing, but actually it would get really sunny in the afternoon, and then the snow would start to melt, and then the sun would go behind the cloud or behind the mountain, and then it would get really cold, so the melted snow would just turn to ice. So some of the places were getting really icy. Candy says, I love skiing, but my knees can't take it. I can really feel my knees just now. Like, I feel like they're straightening too much. They're like hyperextending. Definitely feeling that. Totally feel your pain. All right, so I'm liking this so far. I think it's gonna look really cool. Let's start sticking on. Looking good. And I love the way this goes on his back. I think it looks really cute. Let's get some glue dots for this. And there was one day we had planned to go to the swimming pool. So I was all like emotionally ready to go to the swimming pool, because the day before Piper was like, no, I don't want to do this. Like, I just want to do the one run. That Craig was like, oh, I don't want to do that one again. And then I was like, well, we'll just go swimming. And then that was the day that she had her panda helmet cover and was like, hey, let's do all these other things. Oh, okay. So we stayed on the slope then. She did amazingly. She really did. All right, I think we're going to need some sort of a sentiment on here. Lost my comments. Maybe we'll go for bon voyage, bon voyage, bon voyage. Actually, I'm going to come back to my sentiments at the end, because my sentiments might change. So I'll come back to this. I think we've got the most of this guy done. It is, I think, on trend with my color palette, looking good. So let's pop that to the side and we'll move on to the next card. And the next card I had planned out was going to be an inlaid card using the balloon dies, which conveniently are second on the list, second in my tub. I did have a little bit of an epic fall with trying to get on the chairlift. When I say epic fall, what I really mean is super embarrassing fall. When I was trying to get on the chairlift. Like I said, it was a bit icy and a bit slippy. And as a result, when we're like scooching forward to go onto the chairlift, normally there's like I call it carpet, but it's like plastic bristly kind of bits and normally they come and they brush it and they keep it all nice and neat. But in this instance, sadly, that was not what I was going to, they had not done that. So it was like icy, slushy snow. So when I scooched forward, my skis, I just couldn't stop. So I went kind of off over the end, and then this the chairlift is coming round to pick up and scoop up everyone's bottoms. So I was like, normally you go so far and it scoops you up, but I was like, and I started going over to the side so that I could go over out of the way. But as I went over to the side, the chairlift like scooped up people, and they like just pushed me forward even more. So I fell over. The poor man next to me tried to grab me, and he ended up on his head. So I have a very, very beautiful bruise on my left leg, a little bit of wilted violet, a little bit of like mustard seed in there. Definitely a very colourful situation. Oh no, you moved. This moved when I was putting it through the machine. So the magazine, it's a reject. If it was just for myself, I might have just let it slide. And I'll cut my piece of cardstock a little bit bigger this time, so I don't have the same issue. That is better. Oh no. Yeah, it was fine though. On the last day though, on the Saturday, Craig and I were like, we're gonna not ski on the Saturday. We're just gonna take it easy. And our friends Mark and Helen, Catherine and Ollie, they were like, no, we want to get as much in as possible. We're like, no, that's cool, but we don't really want to rush and stuff, so we'll just take it easy ourselves, like not bother going skiing on the Saturday. And I was done, like I was like, I'm kind of aching all over. So I was definitely quite happy not to ski on the Saturday. We drove to Lyon. We drove to Lyon, and that's actually where I spent a year of my life when I was at uni in Lyon. So it was really, really nice to go back and see the city again, and it definitely felt like home, you know, like it was so nice to go there. And we walked around, we saw the familiar sights. It was so lovely just to be like, I know where we're going, we'll go up here, we'll take a left and we'll get to this fountain and da-da-da. And later that night, Mark and Helen and Catherine and Ollie arrived. But Ollie had had a bit of a crash landing, sadly, on the last ski run at the very end, and he had hurt his whole hip. So he has a matching bruise, although his is much worse. And he's a snowboarder, and he even said, I think I might learn to ski because I'm getting too old for snowboarding. Suzanne's here. Suzanne says, I've been watching YouTube. How did I miss it? You were live. Oh, I think YouTube kind of has a wee mind of its own sometimes. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I do feel like sometimes it's going to tell you when someone's live, and then other times not. So I always say make sure that you make sure you ring that bell, you know, you press the notification bell, and then that means that you will get notified when I go live. In theory, sometimes I don't trust them. All right, so I've taken an A2 panel that I have die cut using an imperial stitch rectangle. And using the stitched balloon dies, I have die cut a load of balloonies. Actually, what I'm going to do is take this panel for convenience and add some glue to the back of this. Marcy says sometimes there is a delay, it's not very consistent. Yes, I think that too. And it's funny because Morgan and I will go live on the Hefty Doodle channel, and then like a couple of hours later we'll get a message to say, oh, Lesley, even like, and I'll come up on my phone with my face. I'm like, I don't think so, I'm in my pajamas. All right, so let's stick this down. Try this way around. And now I'm going to use my Old Faithful to die cut some balloons and pop them back into the spaces. So we're going to use the cardstock from the brief. Let's see if I have any babies in there. So I'll look at my other stash. All right, so let's put this Lesley in here. And we've got, what color should we go? We'll go for a blue and a yellow over here. Oh, perfect little square here. I love the inlay technique. I think it's so fun, and it's one that I love coming back to time and time again. Put that one in here. And let's go for a green. Oh, hello. All right, so for this one, I actually only need half of my balloon. So it doesn't matter if this goes, actually it's going to be just big enough. Suzanne says, I've been using my Hefty Doodle mini die cutting machine my husband got for Christmas. It's fantastic. I'm so happy that you love it. Obviously, I love it as well, but I never, ever, ever get sick of hearing from people how much they enjoy it. Because it was always a bit of a gamble for us, like whether to go for it and to get it just right in the way that we wanted it to be. It took a little bit of time. And when I placed the order, the minimum order quantity was way more than what this little company would ever buy. But I went for it. I thought, right, well, if it takes me 10 years to sell them all, then so be it. It is what it is. And we've had them for 18 months. I think they came out in October, not 21, October 20. And we're sold out. Well, I think we've got one left in the store. So we have got more on order. Because definitely people have been asking more and more for them. And I can't wait for Candy to have one. I hope you love it. All right, we're doing great here. Let's die cut another balloon in butterscotch for the top right. I'm saving this one for a wild berry, I think. Candy says, I can't wait to get it. It is somewhere between the UK and Chicago. Yeah, that's the thing. You're gonna fit in that little piece? I think so. Nice. Candy says, I've been tracking it. Oh yeah. Good shout. Right, shall we do another purpley one down here? I think so, seeing as I've got my purple here. And maybe another pinky at the top. Oh, done it again. Going too fast. This piece of memo tape is dead. I remember being at your house, says Jasmine, and it was just covered in boxes of die cutting machine. It really was. They came in like, oh, I can't even show you on here. It's like big, big boxes, bigger than what you can see on camera, taller than what you can see on camera. They were massive. And I remember they came in like pallets. And I have a picture of me outside the house at like this, this big pallet, this wall behind me, and you can just see Craig's face like, where are you gonna put these? This is whenever we still live down in England, and we're already living in pretty close quarters. But in fact, by the time we moved to England, or by the time we moved to Scotland, I kept saying, when we moved to Scotland, like, there'll be more room. But actually, I was surprised at how many boxes we'd gone through and how many we'd sold by the time we moved to Scotland. And then whenever we brought them up here, we had some in the storage container, and we just kept bringing them in as and when we needed them. And we very much had that kind of situation where you go, right, bring in another box, and they're like, there is no more. What? What do you mean there is no more? It doesn't compute. And then you go out and there's just a box that says, you know, it looks like one of the boxes of the die cutting machines, but actually there's a wee sticker on it saying Christmas decorations. I was like, oh my gosh. Let's see. None of these. Oh, everything's shaking on my desk. Purpley. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Another purpley. And the foam tape suggests, well, we still have foam tape issues, like, because one of our, like, we're going through that, like, no man's business. One of our distributors has a habit of going, foam tape, can I have 200? And you're like, we don't hold that many. But if you can wait for it, then yes. We just got the stamps from our new release in, and we sent a picture to the design team going, I think we got enough stamps. And we've got some new kids on the team this time, and they were like, oh my gosh, you guys pack them yourself. We're like, oh yeah, glutton for punishment. Now, here's the clincher. Am I going to remember where each of these were? Caddy says, work day is over, so I have to close up and go home. Will be joining you when I get to my craft room. Okay, see you soon. I'm loving these colors together, so fresh. Oh no, I must have done something different. Let's do this one and this one. Rescue mission. Do you think I got away with it? Hopefully so. All right. Jasmine says, I always take a quick picture when I do that. So when I remove them, I have a picture. That is a brilliant idea, and I would do that, but I'm using my phone for comments. So I do normally do that. When I am crafting by my lonesome. Let's cut off the overhangs. Looks so good. All right. All right, so we have got in this die set this combo where you can add the shine onto the balloons. So I think I'm going to do it. I didn't know whether I would, but I think I'm just going to go for it. I'll need to cut it a couple of times, but that's okay. Yes, so tomorrow Piper and I are going to go to the Science Center. They have some sort of discovery day on. And then we are going to get some sushi. That kid loves her sushi. Wrong way around. Bit on the fiddly side, but so be it. I think it just makes it look more 3D, more bubbly. Don't you think? All right, so I'm going to very carefully stick on these shiny bits. Now, many of you will have seen me do this before. I like to cut myself a little glue pen or glue stick here. And then I'll just use a scrap piece of paper to add a little splodge of glue. I think I'm going to have to pull out the tweezers. All right, 2 down. This is definitely one of those fiddly things where you go, oh, is it worth it? And then at the end you go, yeah. Yeah, it is. I think it just makes such a big difference. Nearly there, but I think I'm going to need to top up Mr. Glubert. Glubert. So if you were making a card for this magazine using this brief, what would you do? What would you do? I'm curious. I actually think that's not going to be on there. You're not going to see it, so that's okay. Let's see if we can trim off the excess now. Ever so slightly. All right, loving it. So my idea was that we would have a llama facing left and a llama facing right. Right in the middle. I might put it onto some acetate. What do you guys, not acetate, what's it called? Vellum? That might be cool. Or we just make them pop up using some foam tape. Let's color them in and see where we're at. All right. So I'm going to go for a light colored llama. 50. What's this? 00. With some darker legs. And face. And for this one, I'm going to go for grey and give him a little bit of a patchier look. Maybe even some brown patches. Because when we went to the llama and alpaca sanctuary, one of the things that really stood out to me was the fact that the colorings were so beautiful. It's definitely very cool. You can have spotty llamas. Very, very cool. Cuteness personified. I'll just bring in a little bit of grays. So it doesn't look quite so flat. All right, very cute. Jasmine says, we found alpacas on a walk last week, literally 10 minutes from our home. Oh, that's always like a little treat, isn't it? How many were there? Were there loads? I feel like this guy needs to be a little bit browner. Nice. Just to, oh, cute. What color were they, Jasmine? When we went to the alpaca farm, we met an alpaca called Jasmine. I'm trying to remember whether it was an alpaca or a llama. But it was definitely an alpaca. When one of them saw Belle, which is Jasmine's dog, the expression on its face was hilarious. What did Belle think? I think that Ranger would be like, oh my God, what is that? I don't know what that is. What is it? Mommy, save me. Suzanne says, Lesley, I'm always looking for video game or gamer stamps and dies to make cards. Do you have any in the works? I sketched some a little while ago, but I don't think there'll be any time overly soon, because the next release is coming out in April, and then the next release will have I've got them some of them sketched, and then it's going to have Christmas in it. Dun, dun, dun. Can you believe it? Oh, they're so cute. I love them. All right, so I want to have these guys here. I really want them to pop, so let's maybe see if we can raise them up. A little bit. And we wanted to have, I was thinking about maybe doing some of the little banner things. But actually, maybe if we just raise these up together. That is so thinking cute. Jasmine says, yay, more Happy Little Christmas. Yay, yay, yay. So I'm really liking this, but I want it to be quite raised up. What do you guys think? Any ideas for me? We could put some acetate on it, maybe like an acetate circle. Not acetate, vellum. I keep saying acetate instead of vellum. That might work. I don't want to take away from the background, but at the same time, I want my llamas to be the focal point. Let's add some foam to their bums. And regroup. Suzanne says, I'm glad I'm not the only one looking forward to Christmas. I was hoping that I would get some inspiration on the slopes to do maybe some snowy kind of drawings and doodles, but I was exhausted. There was no time for any of that shenanigans. Oh yeah, that looks cute. I am loving that. I think it looks really, really cute. I think maybe just, what sentiment did I have? Lots of love was what I had planned for this one. Lots of love. So what if we put, oh, grumble, grumble, Rangeroo. What if we use the lots of love stamp and stamped it in each of the balloons on a tone-on-tone situation? We could even use the Versamark ink, maybe. Let's see what we can find. My Versamark's not here. Will it work with the embossing ink? Let's give it a go. If not, we can just use tone on tone. I think we're going to need to go for tone on tone. I don't think this is going to pop out just as well. So let's add the lots of love stamp. Oh gosh, time out already. Time flies when you're having lots of lovely fun with the llamas. think it's a girl is getting a little dry. Now, meant to be. Marcy says, Lesley, I keep forgetting to tell you, your video for the card summit was so fun. I really enjoyed it and it made me laugh. Ah, I'm so happy that you enjoyed it. That makes my day, because it was one of those things where you're given a bit of a brief and then you're like, okay, that's fine, I can do that. And then the more that you look into it, the more you overthink it, and then you think, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm not doing this correct. I'm sure we've all been there. and then it's to the point where you're like, oh no, I'm stressing out over this. And then the next stage is, well, tough luck. Like, it is what it is. I can't work anymore on it. And it's like, right, well, if it's rubbish, it's rubbish. You don't know what it's going to be like. But I've had lots of feedback about it. So I'm really delighted that you enjoyed it. Jasmine says, I think yours was one of the best. Ah, thank you. Well, that makes me very happy. Very happy indeed. Let's take some of these little triangles. And add a couple more elements to this card to fill up the white space. I think this already looks like so much better. So pretty. You want out, buddy? Okay, give me a second and I'll let you out. All right. That looks good. Marcy says, honestly, it was my absolute favorite, and your masking tips and techniques were really useful. Oh, I'm so pleased. Absolutely pleased. Let me let my dog out. You okay, buds? Hey, let me get a drinkies. Hey. He's looking at me very suspiciously. I think he's actually saying to me, come to bed, Mummy. Come on, come to bed. Come to bed, Mummy. Okay, where's my llamas? Oh, that little green one is pretty much covered up. But that's okay. I think this looks super cute. What do you guys think? Do we need a sentiment? Stick them on anyway. right, I need to go rescue my dog because he's tried to press a button and it has... Oh, he needs to go outside. Okay. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, my dog's outside, so I'll have to go and retrieve him shortly. But I think this one is pretty much done. We'll just add some sentiments to it after the fact. All right, I think there's probably rangers outside if you climb in. I think really there's probably time for one more. And I think what I'm going to do is do a heart-shaped card for this next one. And I'm going to use the Happy Doodle Stitch hearts, probably this size, I think. And I'm going to have a mummy and a baby. Here's my baby. And here's my mummy. And we're going to use the sentiment Best Mama Llama down below here, I think. Best Mama Llama. So let's color these guys in. Go for a little bit darker on this little bambino. Using my toner grays. He looks like a little sheep. Oops, wrong way around. And for this mama, we'll go for a mixture of colors. Oh, I've done that again. Marcy says, yes, that'll be adorable. And let's give Mama some warm gray patches. And I think what I'll do is just add a couple of little sort of fluffy boys, little C shapes to give the impression of little curls or a little bit of fluff. Same on little bambina. Okay, super fluffy. A few little dots for her too. For Mummy's face then, let's go a bit brown. Lovely. Now I need to make sure that I'm bringing in some colors on my color palette to my design. So maybe what I'll do is die cut the heart and then add some color to it. What should we go for? Maybe a blue? Should we go for a blue one? I think sticking to the softer colors would be a good shout. Your mama baby, and then we'll put best mama llama down here. I think that would be super cute. All right, so let's die cut this. Will this work? Ooh, perfect. Life rarely happens like that. Of course, I'll need another one to go on the back of my card, but I'll do that off camera afterwards. All right, so I'm going to take my ink blending brush, I think, and some distress ink or oxides using tumble glass. And bring in my color. So pretty. So we're going to use the sentiment best mama llama down here. I think. But I think I'd like to add some texture to the background of my card. So let's go and grab the, could go for the stitched hearts maybe, background. or the quilted heart background die. Let's go for the stitched hearts background. Hopefully it'll work big enough. Ooh, it's just going to hang off the edge ever so slightly. So for this, don't want it to cut along the side. So let's see if I can make this work. I don't want to turn it this way because then my hearts would be the wrong orientation. If I did it here, don't think I'll get them all. I don't want to ruin it, so maybe I should leave that for now. Thinking out loud. Could use the wood grain, stitch wood grain effect. I think that would look cute. Let's give it a go. Wood grain texture background. Be brave and do it. I think the wood grain will look cute. Let's do it. I used up all my bravery of being that big. All right, let's see. Oh, it's lush. Can you see it? I think it looks so pretty. Very happy with that. Now, of course, I'm going to have to stamp the Beth Mama Llama, whatever it is, on something else and then add it. But that's okay. We can deal with that. Now, all my pockets are falling apart. Cute, so cute. Let's stick these on. Perfect little mama. Cute little baby. I'll just put them like this so their noses are touching. Super duper cuteness. The Beth Mama Llama. I don't know where we're going to put it. Maybe we'll put it on a little, oh, we could put it on like one of these if we wanted to. Just cut off the edge. I think maybe we'll put it on a what you saying. So this little guy is saying that she's the best mama llama. No, that'd be cute. Yelzia says, lovely spring day in England today. It was quite nice today here too, but I have to say that it's been quite chilly. So it looks really nice, but when you go out, your hands are frozen. So I have stamped this using the scattered straw ink, and then we'll put best mama llama. Right on top here. Of course we made this size so that it would fit if you wanted to use it in the what you saying stamps. I'm good like that. Jasmine said 17 degrees today in England. Goodness me. It's crazy. Definitely we were not hitting 17 degrees in Scotland today. I can assure you. Alrighty. Final furlong. Super cute. So useful. I think all this needs to finish it off is a couple of gems or sequins. It really doesn't need a lot of anything. It's quite a small card. I think the texture speaks loads. So let's see where we're at. So we have got 3 cards here using the color theme that they gave us. Definitely need a sentiment on this one, I think. Maybe a bon voyage. Oh, my time is out again. And then there's 2 more that I have planned to do. Both of them that I sketched were slim lines. I'll have to make them all into cards because at the moment they're just front panels for the cards. But I think these are all going to look really cute when they're all finished, and I can't wait to see them in the magazine whenever the edition is finally published. But I have a busy day tomorrow, so I need to rest my old woman's back and climb into my bed now and rest up for tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining us. I did say at the start of the stream that Craig is having his gallbladder removal surgery next Thursday. So I am staying over in Aberdeen on Thursday night, and we'll be back here and should be back here on Friday night for my stream. However, depending on how that goes, if there's any complications, or indeed if he just simply is in a lot of pain, then he might just need me on hand. I can't really take time off. So we shall see. I'll play it by ear next week. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys real soon. And until then, happy crafting. Bye.